Okay. And what is Docker and container? Dulushmita, Ritupan, Ankit, Bhavesh Patil. You people are not going through the task at all.
Sir, lightweight and executable package software, which include everything to run the application.
Can you repeat it again?
Docker container image is lightweight is executable package software to include which include everything to run our applications.
Exactly. So it will include all the packages which are required to run your application. Very good. That you are talking about Docker or container?
Docker container images.
No. Docker is an engine. Container is an image.
Yes. Docker is an engine. After that, only
So to
that
run that container, I need the support of Docker. Okay. I need the support of Docker. Okay. Good. So next is that. Next portion, this is not only this is not for you. That is actually cloud adoption framework. Means that what are the different certification available in for AWS. So actually we have our collaboration with AWS Academy, through which we are planning to start the AWS courses separately as a value addition for the students, and we also go for the certification training that is also free of cost. But to go for the certification exam, that you have to pay. Now again, in the certification exam, the total amount to appear for the exam to get the AWS certification is $180, I think, $180 or $170. Okay. Now, as a part of our collaboration, we are getting 50% of discount voucher if any students or a faculty member wants to appear for the examination. So appearing for the examination to get the certification is optional, but the certification training will be given to you free of cost. So if any one of the certification is being done by you, that case, immediately you can apply for different companies where the cloud services are, they have adopted the cloud services. Okay. Now, what are the different pricing module of the AWS services you are taking? One pricing module that already you have seen that is called pay per use services. Means in case of AWS Educate, whatever services you are using, that is basically pay per use services. Okay. Apart from this, there are two other kind of services also I told. Can you remember the two other services? One is pay per use. What are the two other services? Any guess?
So reserve.
Yes, one is the reserve instance services. Reserve
And
instance.
50% reserve.
Yeah, another is spot instance service.
Spot.
Who told spot?
Sir, Surajit Malakar.
Ah, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so pay per use means whatever you will use, how much time you will use, based on this you will get billed. As simple as it is. But in case of reserve instance services, if any company requires huge amount of resources, and that is also scalable manner. Scalable manner means suppose right now it is required 2, in next minute it may require 4, next minute it may require 60, next minute it will require 600, then 6,000. Means its requirement can vary from 2 to 6,000. Now for that, I need to keep one reserve instances, right? Immediately, if you ask to scale up your instances from 2 to 6,000, it may not be possible. That case, I need to check that in my data center whether this much of resources are available or not. Otherwise, it will tell you that okay, so you are not authorized to do this. But if you take a reserve instance services, means that okay, right now I am taking 2, I may take 6,000. So that case you have to pay a reserve amount for that one, and they will keep reserve of this much of instances for you. Whenever you require it, they will immediately deploy it to you. Another type of services is that suppose I require 400 machines or 400 virtual servers throughout the year. So that case, what I will do that if I go for pay per use for 4,000, I may have to pay $20,000. For example, for 400 machines and for 1 year, I may have to pay for $20,000. Okay, but if I take it, yeah, that is for the pay per use services. That is for pay per use. Okay. Now, instead of this, if I go for the reserve instance services of this 400, means that I will reserve those instances for the next 1 year. Next 1 year, that case you don't have to go for the pay per use, you will go for reserve instances, right? You will go for reserve instance. So that case you might have to pay only $500, means 1/4 of whatever amount you are paying for that. Whereas earlier for pay per use, you are giving $20,000. Sorry, right now you might have to give $5,000 only. That means 1/4 of the actual data you are giving. But that 20,000 also depends on which manner you are going to pay this. Means that if you go for all upfront reserve instances, all upfront reserve instances means I will pay the entire upfront fee. आप लोग देखते हो ना जब आप लोग कभी कोई कोर्स में जाते हो, if you pay the entire amount in advance, you have to pay very less. If you go for the installment payment, that case you have to pay some extra amount. So it is quite like this. If you go for the all upfront fee, that case you will get huge amount of discount. And another is the partial upfront reserve instances. Means half of the amount or the partial amount I will go for the upfront, as I will pay it as an upfront fee, and rest of the amount I will pay as a monthly basis. But though I have reserved it, the reserve of entire 400 servers for my instances. Okay. Another is the no upfront reserve instances. No upfront reserve instances means that I will yeah. So it should be lowest discount. Sorry, it should not be largest discount. It should be lowest discount. Is my writing mistake. Okay. So for the no upfront reserve instances means I will reserve the instances, but I am not going to pay any advance money. I will pay monthly wise. Okay. Whatever you do, all upfront or partial upfront or no upfront, you require the long-term commitment. And I will take it for 1 year. Student, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No doubt? Okay, fine.
Sir, hello, sir.
Bolo.
Sir, sir, can you tell us how Amazon actually, sir, like Amazon SageMaker and Amazon Translator, how they actually charge for our training and evaluation of the models? So on what basis they actually
Can you repeat the
charge?
question? I could not get it.
So like on Amazon SageMaker and Amazon Translate, all the Amazon DeepAI, how they all charge for the model training?
So why don't you check it in the AWS translator calculator? आप लोगों के पास है ना AWS calculator? Have you seen that one module? वो आप लोगों को वो लर्न
Yes,
नहीं
sir.
किया था मैंने. रुको मैं दिखाता हूँ. You just go directly. You can see that one. Just a minute. Why it is not coming? My sharing is not coming, na?
No, sir, it's coming.
Coming. It's coming, but slowly it is coming. Okay. So search for you are going for, you want to go for the SageMaker, right? And other services. Check. I think SageMaker service is not written. Any other services that you are talking?
No, sir, for that only, sir, because I
For
also
that
didn't find it here.
okay, let me check. Let me check. AWS SageMaker costing, SageMaker pricing. Though whatever credit voucher I have given to you, for that you will get it free of cost, SageMaker 1. So you can use it for free of cost. But here you can check that based on the instances, what type of instances you are creating on which you are utilizing your SageMaker. So the pricing model is given over here. You can check it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so you just
We can
write
use
that
the SageMaker,
services and pricing.
the credit you
Huh?
give, na? So we can
Yeah,
use the
yeah.
SageMaker on the credit. Okay, sir.
Mhm. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so basically the concept is the pay less when you use more. So based on the volume, then you will get some discounted out of this. Okay. Now this is the entire AWS global infrastructure where in the lower level you can see that AWS infrastructure, that means the infrastructure as a services that are depending on the various regions, then availability zones and edge location. Region means I think you have seen that US East dot one is one region that you have find it out, or US East dot two there is another region. These are the regions. Now in East 1 there are 3 data centers. In East 1 there are 3 data centers. Each data centers having 2 lakhs of servers are present over there. So these are the servers present over there. Out of these, few of the servers which are being used for the local customers. That means those who are in the US East region, so they can use those servers. Some of the servers are there which will be dedicated for the local customers. So these are the servers of edge location. Got it? I am repeating again. Each of the regions may have multiple numbers of data centers which are called availability zone. Like US East 1 is one region under this US East 1. US East 1 is basically California region. So in California region, there are many data centers are available. Out of this, one data center, out of those data centers, each of the data centers, there are 2 lakhs of servers are there. Okay. And out of these 2 lakhs servers, few of the servers will be there which are nearer to the edge location. Okay, right now, yesterday I was saying that regarding the data center, here you can identify it as a region, right? So Microsoft Azure is coming as a data center region like Pacific Ocean data center or Atlantic Ocean data center. Can you believe that? So they are putting their data center not in any country which has a data compliance issues, because at the time of keeping your data, already I told that you should be sure enough that whether it is confirming your data compliances. You may not be you may not like to store your data in the California data center, rather than you may like to store your data in the Mumbai data center. But if you have been offered with a data center which is in the Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean, that case obviously you would like to share your data center, share your data within this data center, or you can take, you can create your services in that particular data center. Yes or no? Do you get it? What I have told? Hello.
सर एक बार और रिपीट करेंगे सर
Okay.
last
So
वाला
what
portion.
I want to say is that you understood the regions. Regions means ek ilaka. Like
Yes,
US
sir.
East is one region. Under one region, there may be multiple number of data centers, which are termed as availability zone. Like US East one, I have 2 or 3 availability zones are there. Each of the availability zones may have, I mean, at most 2 lakhs of servers are there. Okay. Out of these servers, few servers are there which are stored as for the local customers, which are termed as the edge location server. Okay, so those data centers are termed as the edge location servers. Up to this much is okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, regarding the data center, yesterday I have seen that earlier we have seen what the different countries data centers are there, na? Mumbai data center or Singapore data center or Cape Town data center or US East data center. Microsoft Azure has a data center in Atlantic Ocean, another is in Pacific Ocean. Means that they have created data center and put it under the ocean. I am showing you one video. So which will why they are doing this so? They are doing this so for the to remove the data compliance issue. Because अगर हम अटलांटिक ओशन में रखेंगे तो कोई कंट्री के अंदर नहीं आएगा वो डेटा, कोई कंट्री वो डेटा को व्यू नहीं कर पाएगा. That is one thing. And second thing is that the inside the ocean it will give you a coolest environment. तो तुमको ये सर्वर को कूल रखने के लिए और कुछ करने का जरूरत ही नहीं है. Just a minute. Sorry, I'm showing you the video. Just check this one. net is little bit slow. Just bear with me.
The overarching goal of Project Natick is to evaluate the feasibility of underwater data centers. Phase one was just to be able to figure out, can we get computers into a container and can we deploy them in the water without it leaking, and do the computers survive and how well do they last? Phase two was to show that we can make
This is
it
the data center.
a manufacturable production scale component. So the container behind me, it fits on a trailer, it fits on a cargo ship, and it allows us to actually build up this data center to any size that we want.
Orkney is a great place for this partnership because they've got renewable energy for 100% and more of their grid power.
Computers are not designed to work in the environment that we humans operate. So things like oxygen, moisture in the air, that is really bad for computers. It causes corrosion on the components. You also get temperature fluctuations. So the heat from night to day and summer to winter can cause those components to fail. And so we had this theory that if we're in a really stable environment, we're in this cylinder, we've taken all the oxygen out, we've controlled the humidity, no one's walking around, there's nobody bumping things or causing any additional failures, that we'd see better reliability. And so far as we've been monitoring this and the data center that we have on land that are using the same components, we see 1/8 the failure rate in the ocean data center than we do on land. We've got some good data on reliability. We've proven out that we can do this whole deployment process. Now let's finish the story and let's show that we can do the retrieval and we can do the recycling once it does reach end of life, and make sure that that entire cycle is possible.
This project gives us the ability to feel like we're working not just on computers, not just on data centers, but on sort of moving forward environmental responsibility as a company and as individuals.
I mean, everybody uses the cloud. Everybody needs data centers. This need isn't going to go away. We're going to continue to build larger data centers and use more electricity because the demand is there and the demand keeps growing. How can we do it that's better for the environment and that's just better for us as a people?
So this is basically what they have done, that small data center they have created as an experimental basis in the Atlantic Ocean, and after that, it can be they submerge it under the deep water, and from that they can also control, monitor the functioning of this data center. Now, if any problem happens with the data center or maintenance is required, then they will pull the data center out of this sea, beneath the sea, underwater, pull it from the underwater, and after that they make the maintenance work in the sea level. Okay, so this is one of the data center options, so they are bringing out. Okay, so the lower level is my entire hardware infrastructure that you can see, and on top of this, you can see that the foundation services, these are basically your IaaS services, where you have the compute services through which you can create your virtual infrastructure, your networking services, your storage services. And on top of it, you have the platform services or PaaS services, where you have the database services, analytics services. What are the different analytics services that you have seen till now? Right now, Navaditi has asked about the SageMaker. SageMaker is one of the analytics services, or the cluster computing services, and we have Kinesis. AWS Kinesis is the cluster computing services. App services you have seen. What are the app services that are available? Deployment and management services. Under this, Docker container, DevOps tools, Resource templates, usage tracking, monitoring, and logs are available. And in the mobile services, you have the simple notification services or the mobile checking, identity checking through Cognito, or those services are available. And on top of it, you have the SaaS services or software as a services where you have the virtual desktops and the collaboration and sharing services are available. So this is a very good diagram through which you can get an idea of what are the different cloud services are provided by a public cloud infrastructure. Though it is an AWS architecture, but for other public cloud architecture, the diagram remains same. If you have any question, you can ask me. If you have any question on this diagram, you can ask me. If no question, okay. Now, whatever I have discussed about right now, I think Raju has asked me the questions to repeat it regarding the regions and the availability zone. So you can see here the regions is a particular area where you can have multiple number of availability zones. Region is a geographic area under which there may be 2 or more availability zones are there. Here it is written that AWS has 18 regions under which AWS has total 54. This should be 54. AWS has 54 availability zone or data center. Availability zone. Right now it may increase. Whatever data statistics I'm telling, that is about the last year December data statistics. Okay, so it may increase. I don't know actually. So it enables you to control the data application across the region and communication between the region users AWS backbone network connections interactions. Okay. Now each of the data centers may varies from the 2 lakhs up to 2 lakhs. Here it is written 50,000 to 80,000 physical servers. Actually, this 50 to 80,000 of physical servers which will accompany with another replica of 50,000 to 80,000 of servers. These two actually comprises of around 2 lakhs of servers. This one is the actual server, this one is the replica server. Whenever you will see a data center, you will see a data center architecture. The data center architecture will be quite like this. Here, this should be like this, and in the other hand, there will be another array. Means one array is in U pattern where multiple numbers of servers are stored. Okay, suppose here total 80,000 servers are there. Okay, and there will be another replica of another U where another 80,000 servers will be there. So these servers are the replica. These servers are the replica of these servers. Means if you take a server from this data center, actual data center, your replica will be created in the replica data center again. Why they are doing it so? Can you answer that question? Why they are creating some replica data center of the actual data center?
Sir, data loss नहीं
One
होने
of
का.
the data rollover.
So to increase the availability.
If your actual server gets crashed immediately, they will give you the support. Your support will not stop. They will start giving you the support from the replica data center, and by this time, replica server, by this time they will try to repair the actual server. If it is not repairable, that case they will replace it. Okay. Now all data centers is cold. No data center. Actually, I'm showing you a data center. How a data center look like. Please bear with me. Actually, I visited the data center last year with a few of our students as a part of the IBM curriculum. So we have visited the one IBM data center. IBM has given it to another company that is called Next Gen Solution as an outsourcing to create the data center. So we have visited the data center and that is very secure. in Bangalore. Actually, that is 50 kilometers away from Bangalore.
India is transforming into a digitally empowered society and a knowledge economy. Government and enterprises are rolling out so many applications that touch every Indian. Foundation to this digital revolution are these data centers. We are at NextGen's HDDC facility in Bangalore, where we enable these applications to run smoothly in a precise environment and very, very securely. I would like to tell you a little bit about what we've done to make our passion into a reality and create this facility for which transformed into one of the most precious buildings in Bangalore. When we started looking at the data center design from the scratch, we actually started looking at the modern day infrastructure and then built the data center around it. So we call it server out design. So we picked up a server, put it into a rack, and built the data center around it. And that's how we designed this facility.
So just check that the entire data center concept. Here you can see that server hall 1 and server hall 2. Can you hear my voice, students? Students, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this server hall 1 consists of around 50,000 of servers, and this server hall 2 is the replica of server hall 1. Okay, and there will be one battery hall where it will give you the power backup if your actual electrical. These are the two electrical substation. So this substation is powering up this server hall 1, and this electrical hall is powering up this server hall 2. Now, by chance, anyway, though they are getting uninterrupted 24 into 7 support of the electrical services, by any chance, support calamity or earthquake, if these electrical services get disrupted, that immediately it will start from the battery. The battery will give the power to the UPS, and through that, you will get the entire servers should be run on in any emergency, whatever the emergency comes, so it will run on uninterrupted. And there's a transformer bay. Why this transformer bay has been created? Because from the actual power sources, like our power sources are APSC, Assam Public Electricity, Assam Electricity Power Electricity Corporation, right? So if whatever power they are giving, the voltages are fluctuating. Now the fluctuation of voltages may damage your server. So whatever fluctuations are being done, whenever before going into the electrical hall to the substation, so they are first stabilizing the voltages between 220 degree to 240 degree, so that your server should get the stabilized voltage only, so that there should not be any fluctuation in their power.
We are
Their server
very
should
proud of the
get
fact that we were a part of this project and this journey.
Traditionally, data centers were built to handle static loads, which is, I would compare it to an electric bulb. But over the period of time, I think servers have become very, very smart, and their compute power is very elastic in nature. Whenever there's user load, they actually grow to handle that capacity and then shrink whenever they don't need to actually deliver that kind of power to run the application. So data center has to be designed to handle this kind of elastic loads, not like what we used to do earlier. So at NextGen, we spent close to about 6 months. We used over 300 man-years of experience to actually create a facility that can power the modern day compute infrastructure. One of the few things that we've noticed is that typically a normal server that we use is consuming about 1100 watts. And in normal data centers, if you put 3 or 4 of these servers into a rack, I mean, you kind of use up the cooling and electrical power that's available. What we've done at HTDC is that you can actually put 40 of these into a rack. This facility can actually hold 80,000 such servers. And I think it's parallel to Facebook's facility in Oregon, USA, it is more or less similar in terms of the capacity that it can handle. When you have to run 80,000 servers in a facility like this, you need a lot of power to handle that. These 80,000 servers nearly produce 15 megawatts of heat, and that heat has to be cooled. So we had to rethink on a whole lot of aspects that normally you would go into a data center. We started with location. I mean, we actually chose the location with utmost care so that it is secure enough and it has access to power that can actually power this large facility in the country. To pack 80,000 servers, we started looking at the rack itself. I mean, we made this rack much more taller. It actually hosts 5 times more IT than typically that you would house in a traditional data center in India. So you can actually, if you have 5 racks in another facility, you can actually shrink it and put it into one rack at NextGen. So right from the design of the rack, we had to look at vendors who would support us. We had to go and build.
So this is all about the data center. If you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I will end up this session over here.